Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Today I want to have a bit more of a play with the current Artful box, which is all about gouache, and which I love, and I thought I'd combine it with a little idea I've got for this month's prompt squad, which is One Hue blue. So I've got an idea for this. Let me show you what I've got ready. Here's the box. The lovely sort of magazine, well, it's not a magazine, it's more of a book really that you get in the box. Here's the mixed media pad, so 25 sheets of £140. It's really nice, heavyweight, sturdy paper with a little bit of a texture but not too much, and it should be fine for as much water as I want to throw at it. So I'm going to need that, and here are the paints. Let's put the box out of the way. So I'm only using One Hue. I probably just use this ultramarine, but I might bring in this Kingfisher blue as well. I suppose strictly speaking it's One Hue, it should just be the one colour, but I'm also going to use black and white to create shades, tints and tones of that blue. The rest of the paints I can put out of the way. I've also got some of this Frisk Trace Down. It's a graphite transfer paper, so you can use the sheets over and over again. I've used these ones lots of times, and it's kind of like using carbon paper, but unlike carbon paper, which is kind of waxy, I suppose, this is graphite, so you can rub it out. So that's brilliant. I think you can get different colours and things as well, but I've only got this one, but yeah, it's really handy. And I've got an image ready that I'm going to cheat and just give myself a couple of outlines, because really for me the object of this exercise is mixing the paints and seeing what I can do with just this one colour, not about kind of the drawing itself. So I also am going to need the brushes, which came in this lovely bag this time, which I really like. I'm not sure how many of them I will use, but they're lovely brushes to use. They're quite small. I might end up cheating a bit and bringing in another larger brush to cover big areas. In fact, I almost definitely will, so I'll grab that in a mo. So the image I'm looking at, just show you, my son's showing me how to be able to share this with you now. This started off as a photograph. I think it was on the cover of Vogue or something like that. I just found it online. There's probably all sorts of copyright and royalty issues, but I'm going to be messing with it a lot. It's not going to look like it looks at the moment by the time I finish. And in fact, what you're seeing here, I've already changed quite a lot. Initially, it was a full colour photograph, and I've brought it into OBS, which is the system the software that I'm currently using to record this, and applied some filters, took out all the colours except blue, simplified it. You can do a pixelated thing, you can do all sorts of things, and this has basically simplified it for me down to what, 1, 2, 3, 4 shades of blue. So this very light blue here, the next lightest is there's your sort of mid-tone, and there's a very dark. And initially I'm going to try just sticking to those 4 shades. I'll see how I feel as I go along. So I'll see. I don't know. It'll just be an interesting exercise in mixing all these colours and really looking at the shapes of the face and where it's light and dark. I think this will be great fun to play with these filters. I'm learning all this new techie stuff. My son is such a patient teacher. I don't know what I'll do without him. So I'm going to leave that up there, so that you can see what I'm looking at. And the first thing I'm going to do is just tape. Oh, that's the other thing I haven't said about, is some tape. I'm going to end up with this in a more of a square format like that, I think, yeah, rather than what you see there. So I just need to tape off a square really. I can always use this little space here to try out my colours on as well, can't I? Just about big enough, only just. Okay. So I'm going to take one of these well-used sheets of this Frisk Trace Down, just going to do a rough outline of kind of the main just want to make sure that's coming through. Yeah, it's coming through fine. So, okay, I think that will do. I'll leave that up in front of me in case that's useful. So I'm just going to lift some of that up with my putty rubber. So I just want a hint of where I need to go. Next thing is to mix the paints. Oh, that's the other thing I'm going to need. Palette. It's a shame we didn't put a palette in the box. That would have been nice. But I guess really you're better off having more colours, because most of us already got palettes, or you can use a plate or a bit of paper, a bit of packaging or something, can't you? Got my palette. I've got a water spray as well, because that's sometimes useful, and I've got an old tea towel to use for my manky rag. I've got water all over that now. This was acrylic inks in here, so I don't think the colour's going to come out. There we go. That's that lovely luscious ultramarine. Let's put some of this blue out, even though I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. It might be nice to have a different one. And I really only, at this stage, I only need to think about, I think it might be enough black, getting 4 shades. I might go back in afterwards and add in some white, because I still feel like that's not another hue. I'll still only be using the one hue. Hue. I can't say the word hue without using a silly voice. I'm not quite sure why. So shall I start with the lightest one? As I'm thinking, looking at the colours this has come out here, it might be nice to have a wash of that colour and then use this colour to mix the others. Right, definitely worth having the 2 water pots. One to clean your brush off and one when you actually need water. And actually having a little spray, so if you just want to keep them moist, you haven't got to keep dunking the brush and losing your paint. Let's give them all a bit of a spritz actually. Okay, I think I am going to be brave and just do a little wash over the whole thing first, using that very light blue. Good. And hopefully I can still see my pencil just about enough through there. Actually, touch and go. Yeah, I've lost most of it. That was stupid, wasn't it? Should have left it off the face, maybe. Yep, that's gone. Oh dear. Oh, I should have done that and then done the tracing. It's made a lovely smooth background now, wiping that over like that. Yeah, I've got nothing left there except a little bit of that hair, so I'm going to have to trace that again. It's given me more than enough to go on. Now I'll be interested to see if you can still rub this out on top of this slightly wet paint. And look, I've got that going on there, but that's not surprising. Let's try putty rubber over the top of that and see if that lifts it still. Yeah, well, that's good. But nice to know that that graphite still lifts really easily. I can't decide whether to go light first or dark first with gouache. With acrylics you go dark towards light, with watercolours you go light towards dark. See if I can get any tips. Interesting. So you can go either light to dark or dark to light with gouache apparently, and I also noticed while I was looking that it said that dark areas will lighten and light areas will tend to darken, so make sure you mix plenty if you're going to be covering a big area, because it will be hard to look at what you've done and mix it again to match, I guess. So I can do it whichever way I like. I think for me I'm going to go with these, pick out those obviously lighter areas first. Believe it or not, that is actually a very dark kind of shade darker than indigo blue, so I'm going to go with that. Let's get all of this off, and I'm going to use the smaller brush and start trying to pick out some of those dark areas now. I think I've got, joking aside, I've got the beginnings of the light and dark areas that I'm looking at. So I'm not going to lose confidence. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to use this small angled brush that came in the Artful box. These are lovely brushes. They just look so pretty, don't they? And they feel lovely to use. And I should be able to get, you know, blog into quite sort of accurate areas with this, and even get quite a fine point if I want to. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to try and pick out what I see as the darkest areas in the picture with this almost this very blue black kind of colour. Okay, I think it's dry enough. Change my mind, I'm going for the pointy one just to start me off. I've made that eye far too big, that iris far too big rather. I don't know if it's going to let me take it off now. I'll do if I'm really quick. There you go, little tip there. You can erase gouache if you're fast. You can paint over it. I could have waited and painted over it, but didn't want to. Okay, so she's starting to come back now. She most definitely is not going to end up as beautiful in my picture as she is in real life. I'm sorry, lady, whatever I don't even know what your name is to apologise. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do to you, but I feel like I've put the darkest in now. I feel like I want to put the lightest in again, and that is this kind of turquoisey colour. And I'm wondering if I should put just a little bit of the white with it. Just make it a little bit more opaque as well if I want to go over bits. It's amazing, you know, I'm going to be using that for the whites of the eyes. It just goes to show you don't use white for the whites of the eyes, do you? Okay. So. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to clean up a minute, leave that just to dry for a few minutes. It doesn't take very long. Gosh, it's a pretty quick drying. Well, I think I'll turn this beautiful lady, bless her, into a boy, really, a very handsome boy. But yeah, it was a really fun exercise. I got really absorbed in that. How long I've left this going without stopping the film at all. That's 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like about half an hour. I was completely absorbed. So I'm going to go and clean up and then peel off the tape and see if that makes it look any better. Let's have a look. It's going to be pretty much dry now. Just the time it's taken me to clean my palette. So it'd be dry enough to do another layer over the top perhaps, but so the great thing about this gouache is I was able, like you probably would have seen, to go to layer over and over till I was happy with it, the same as you would with acrylics, but also to be able to get it quite transparent. It blends really well on the paper, which is nice. Yeah, I really love gouache. So that is my piece for Prompt Squad this month. Let's get rid of the let's not remind ourselves how far away I am from the image from the reference, because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the exercise here wasn't really to get a likeness. It was more to play with mixing the colours and just simplify it and look at the lights and darks on the face and the shapes and things. Yeah, so it was really interesting exercise in that way, and I do think he's a very handsome young man. It's just not that beautiful lady that I started out with. If she had a little brother, this would be him. Yes, I'm quite happy with that. I'll leave a link to Jasmine Todd's YouTube channel, because she's the hostess of Prompt Squad. Thank you very much for watching today. Hope you enjoyed that or found some of it useful, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.